Hi, I'm Marissa. Welcome to my channel where I talk about working with intuition, energy, and consciousness in order to live our best lives. This week, the universe has been teaching me the importance of relaxing in order to accomplish more and to actually be more productive and to get more done. And I know it seems counterintuitive because at least where I live in the United States, it's like there's this culture, it's like a hustle culture of, 40 plus hours a week is considered the norm for most people. It's full-time employment here in the United States. So what that basically means is you clock in at a certain time and you work for this block of time, like 7, 8, 9, 10 hours. And you're expected to be productive until like from the time you clock in until the time that you clock out every day. And it's just like nonstop, like this huge block of just consistently working, doing. How much can we get done? And yeah, there's a lunch break thrown in there, but usually it's not enough time to recoup or recharge your batteries. It's just enough time to like eat lunch, make a phone call, or do something very quickly that you needed to do. And then a lot of the times you still have like work on your mind because you have to keep working for the rest of the day. So that was basically me too. I worked in a government type of job for the last about 10 years and actually ended up quitting that job last year. It was one of the hardest decisions I've ever made in my life. Just because it had the retirement benefits and it was a quote unquote secure job, but my heart was definitely pulling me in a different direction. Writing has always been my true passion, especially when it comes to writing about intuition and consciousness. And although it was a tough decision, I've never regretted it, not even once. And that is the honest truth because I think, for periods of time, we are called to do certain things. And then that might have been our plan, like our long term goal, but the universe has other plans for us and it will let us know. We'll feel it. We'll feel it intuitively. We'll feel it in our stomach. We'll just have that sense of knowing that it's time for me to move on and do something else. So that's more or less what happened to me. So I left that job to focus on what I was truly passionate about, which is writing. So last week I was working on some business related things. And when I was doing that, I had gotten some stuff done that I wanted to get done. And then there was this point that I came to after a while where I just was feeling so tired. Like I was just kind of mentally drained. I was feeling exhausted. And I had this moment where I was like, well, I did that. I was like, I could do one more thing. I could like push and do one more thing. And I was like teetering back and forth, like, do I stop and take a break or do I just do that other thing? And I just want to stop there and highlight that for a minute because even though my body was clearly beyond tired and my mind was overspent, my first thought wasn't, oh, let me take care of myself and take a rest, take a break. No, it was like, what else can I get done? That was like the first thought that like came into my mind. And why that's so important is because that comes from beliefs. It's a belief system. It's like a culture thing. For me, I've worked all these jobs over the years where, it's just like you're expected to like be there from like the time you clock in to the time you clock out and do, produce. How much can you get done? If you finish one task, like what else can you look for to do so you can keep being productive? And I do not believe that is a normal way to work. I've never believed like the 40-hour work week was like the thing. I just don't think we're meant for that. I think that even though it's become like an accepted thing, we have to like look within and challenge those beliefs that we hold about, oh, this is normal. It's not normal. It doesn't feel normal to like be exhausted and to keep pushing yourself. That's not normal. So even though I was feeling tired, worn out, and exhausted, my first reaction wasn't to stop, take a rest, and relax, but it was to push myself. Why is that? So these are the types of beliefs that become ingrained in us. They're things that we might have adopted from what we believe is socially acceptable, what other people are doing, what we've seen others do from our own experiences in the workforce. So it becomes normal or just the way it is, just 40 hours a week is normal, just do it. Working 10 hours a day is normal, just do it. And we lead these lives feeling miserable or just not good for a portion of the day because we're not listening to ourselves. We're ignoring ourselves in order to make what we are being told by other people right or true. So, it's kind of like this. Like we get tired. Like for me, when I would work, I get tired after like a few hours. And it's like you ignore the self in order to like do what is expected of you, do what the employer says is expected of you, but really on a broader sense, do what society says is expected of you. So we push ourselves and we work hard because we tell ourselves that that's what's normal, even though internally we can feel that it's not. So the thing about our bodies is that our bodies are these amazing, super highly intuitive systems, and they're here to work for us, delivering messages and with us. We're always intuiting information. We know when we're tired every night. We know when we're hungry. We know when we're thirsty. We know when, we're getting overheated. We feel all these different signals and indicators that are coming from the body. So getting back to my story, I was tired, my mind was like frazzled, and I was considering doing that one more thing. And then I had the realization where I was like, no. I was like, what actually sounds good right now? Because it was a clear choice, right? What sounded good was taking a break. I was like, I'm going to go take a break, just get some fresh air and kind of just relax for a little bit. And I could see the path like unfolding for that, and it felt really good. And then I could see the path of just like doing one more thing. And it's like I could have possibly done that, but I would have been exhausted and feeling miserable doing it. So I made the choice to stop what I was doing, and I grabbed my dog and we went and I got an iced coffee. We spent time outdoors, and I took like an hour or two to just relax, breathe, just clear my mind. Because when your mind gets like that kind of like bogged down, at least for me, it takes a while to like kind of undo all that. So just walking in nature or just being outside in general, that always resets my batteries. And eventually my mind wasn't busy any longer. I had taken the time to relax and recharge and to really get into a space where I wasn't thinking about work anymore. I was just really thinking about being present and enjoying the moment and soaking in my environment. And as I listened to myself and I honored my body, I began to receive insights. So as those insights were coming in, I got 3 really good ideas for how I could accomplish projects that I'd been trying to figure out in a better way, including content for 2 of those projects. That was kind of what was streaming in for me. And one of them was something I don't even think I would have been able to come up with on my own by analyzing it. It was more like the type of idea or inspiration that just has to come to you where you're like, whoa, that was a really good idea, versus the type of idea that comes from you where you're trying to effort and think about it and turn your wheels. So the reason this information even came to me was because I had taken the time to honor and listen to my body when it told me enough was enough and it's time to chill out and relax. So then a couple days ago, the same thing happened again, where I was online. I was trying to like navigate this online process, fill out this long form, and it was a little complicated. And eventually, like, I think the session timed out or somehow I got bumped offline and I had to do it all over again. And by the time I was done, my mind was like, I was just zazzled. And that's my word for like, just my mind's like, bzzz. Like, I was just done at that point. I was done. So at that point, I knew I needed to take a break and I honored it, remembering what had happened the prior time. It's like, okay, I know the way I'm feeling and I'm paying attention to that. I'm honoring that. And so I stopped what I was doing, stepped away from the computer and working, and again, just took time to be outdoors and to clear my mind and to really feel refreshed. For me, a lot of it is like being in nature, looking at nature, walking in nature. That really just restores me. I believe that nature is very healing. So I was relaxing for a while when I began to have new ideas just kind of naturally and effortlessly begin to flow in. When that started happening, I began to journal about everything I was receiving because I wanted to capture it and remember it. Is something I often do. And then the cool thing that happened at that point was as I started to journal and write things down, it's like even more information like came to me. It's kind of like this has happened for me many times. It's like when you have a dream and you decide to write that dream down, it's like you remember like certain details, but then as you're actually like writing the dream down, it's like, oh, I remember I felt like that way, or this meant this. Like even more insights will like drop in as you're journaling. So that's one cool thing about journaling is it kind of like opens the door for more to come in, to receive more. And then the cool thing at that point that happened was I like took a moment to go online on social media, and right away this video popped up about something that I completely needed to hear. And it was like the most perfect the most perfect message for what I needed in that moment. And I was just like, okay, like obviously like taking that time to take a break is having this like beautiful chain reaction of other good things happening, like other good juju falling into place. So for me, I believe that because I had stopped the pursuit of busyness and just like doing, that actually created that space for the information that I needed and was seeking to come to me. Because when we're in that state of like, I gotta make it happen, we're not really allowing or receiving. We're like kind of almost blocking things. Like we feel productive, but we're actually like blocking energy. If you put yourself in that position, like you'll start to feel what I mean. It's like when you're like, I gotta do this, you're not allowing other stuff to come in. You're just like, I gotta make this happen, instead of being like, okay, I felt tired, I need to take a break. I'm here, I'm observing, I'm quiet, and like stuff starts to like drift in or like come to us. So for me, all of this demonstrated that while taking a break, relaxing, and enjoying ourselves may not seem productive logically, it actually can be the most productive thing and exactly what we need. When our body is tired or our mind is too busy, it's important to listen to ourselves, to our body, and to ask ourselves what we need, and then to take the next step and honor that, whatever it is for you. Some of the best information comes to us when we are relaxed, receptive, and allowing, rather than pushing or straining ourselves or overexerting ourselves to make something happen and get something done. So remember that next time you're feeling tired, listen to your body. It will tell you exactly what it needs in that moment. All right, that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.